We are live, making some low carb ravioli. I think somebody already wrote, oh, Angela, hi, girl. We got Angela here. I think we have the whole YouTube. I don't believe that my darling Megan can be here today. So it's going to be me running the live stream. Although she did write, maybe that's her writing that Facebook thing. I'm not sure. Hi, guys. Welcome. Welcome to the Eat Happy Kitchen. Who do we have here? We've got some viewers. I'm going to make some low carb raviolis. Got the provolone right here. I got the recipe printed out from Substack. Can you guys hear me okay? How's the sound? I want to make sure. In fact, I should have probably double checked my mic settings. Hey, Sean Johnny. Oh, hey, Carrie. Just making sure we're all good to go. Audio. Oh, it's taking out of my MacBook Pro. Let me do this. That's going to sound much better, I think. Switching mics. Sound is good. Oh, Steve is here. Sounds good. Thank you. Hey, Teresa. It's going to be me today. Megan cannot be here, so we're going to make the low carb ravioli. Oh, I need to start the oven at 350. Has anybody made this recipe yet? This recipe that's basically a delicious tiny meatball surrounded by provolone cheese. Provolone. Hold on, where's my little scooper? Hi, little dog. This is the secret weapon. The secret weapon of this recipe is the 1-inch cookie scooper. Hi, Anna, sounds good. Okay, yeah. Steve is in DC. Oh, yeah, where are you guys? Thank you for filling out the poll, by the way. That was super helpful in the Facebook group. I've got a pound of beef and a pound of pork. This recipe calls for a half pound each. I had this thing where I didn't want my favorite butcher to have to measure stuff out for less than a pound. So I just had him do a pound of each and I'll split it up. I had guilt. I had butcher guilt. Let's see. Let's do that. Save this. Maybe I'll make some burgers tomorrow with the barbecue dust. From SoCal. Yay. Hey, Carolyn. Hey, Kelly. I just got into a weird discussion on Instagram with somebody. I made my first Facebook ad / Instagram ad for Eat Happy Kitchen pasta sauce. No sugar added. And it's basically a slideshow of a bunch of my recipes. There's a half pound of beef, a half pound of pork. Oh, I forgot to get the mustard out. And somebody wrote the weirdest thing that I wouldn't disclose the sodium and sugar content on my products. And I was like, what? It's on page 3 of every single one of the products, the nutritional panel, because I said I actually have built my company on transparency and labeling. That's why I exist. And he wrote, not good enough. I was like, okay. Anyway. Oh, yay, Rick and Melody are here. Okay, let me get my mustard. I think I got everything out. I thought I was really prepared, you guys. I actually prepared for this one early. And then I still didn't get the mustard out. Like I said, Megan is not here. Oh, hello, Bonadoc. Let's do some couple teaspoons of yellow mustard. I'm going to have to remove the ring because it's going to require, this is a hand job. Let's get, this is a 1/4 cup of almond flour. So I've got a half a pound here each. I got 75 ground beef and I got ground pork that he ground for me fresh. That's why I was like, oh, a whole pound. I had a butcher guilt. Got a 1/4 cup of almond flour. You can totally use pork panko. You do not have to use almond flour. Let's put an egg in here. There's a dog out there barking. Izzy's going to lose her mind. Let's see. We want to put in some salt, ground pepper. How about the Redmonds? You guys use the Redmonds? I like Redmonds and Maldon. What's the salt of choice? Has anybody made this recipe yet, is what I meant to ask. I think I did ask it earlier, but then I didn't listen for an answer. I need to listen. You're doing great. Don't listen to the haters. Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, no, listen, I have never had to buy a Facebook or a Instagram ad, but we're trying to get our direct to consumer sales up higher so that we can pay for this move into grocery. So I'm trying to obviously cold outreach is the next step because we've never run advertising before. And so I expect the crazy comments to come through. And I was not wrong. They are crazy, these comments. Crazy stuff comes through. Izzy! Okay, Lara's going to make it this week. I know you are, and you're going to tag me. Oh, chicken artichoke dish is very good. I love that you made one of my dishes, and then you're eating it while you watch me make another dish. That makes me so happy. Let's get the dried basil. Oh, you guys, I'm going to do this instead. Look what I have. Do you see what this says? Eat happy everyday dust. This is our 4th spice mix. So usually I call for salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and then a variation of different things. We put a minced onion in here. I'm not minced onion, what's it called? Minced green onion in here as well, and a little bit of chive. It's so good. We're designing the label. This one's going to be one of the first things that's in the new tin. I'm going to put a whole teaspoon. Oh, it smells heavenly. So what the everyday dust is going to be is anytime you see it call for salt and pepper, or salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, or bouillon, you use this. You can use this to season salt. I have put it on vegetables. I've put it in meats. You can put it in like meatloaf, meatballs, anything where you just want that extra umami flavor. You're going to use this guy. Okay. So whereas the barbecue dust is going to give you that like smoky barbecue flavor, this is just really good umami savory flavor. And I'm very excited for the everyday dust. So we're going to use that, but I'm also going to add a little oregano because this is Italian. And remember the trick, the dried herb trick. We do that to release the oils. What remaining oils? Yeah, new dust. Oh, congratulations to everybody who works in the tax field for yesterday being over with. So I put some basil and oregano in there because I do want it to have that Italian flavor profile. Look at this. This is gorgeous. What am I forgetting? I have to read the directions because I haven't made this one a whole bunch. Parsley. Fresh parsley. I just interviewed the most delightful woman named Amy Cross. And she was chock-a-block full of grocery tips and how to maximize your groceries, how to wash your produce, mostly produce is what she focused on, even though she is a meat eater. She was a delightful human, and I hope that you guys are going to love this interview. I literally just hung up with her a couple of hours ago. And because you know how I always said to put your herbs like this in the fridge, wash them, and then put them in like this? She has like an extra step of a way to wash them to make them last even longer. I have cilantro in there from our thing from like, when was that? 3 weeks ago when I made the lime cilantro green salsa. It's still going strong. But she even taught extra ways of like keeping things super fresh and getting the microbes and the mold spores off of your food when you bring it home. What? That's crazy. That's crazy. You're going to love this conversation with her. Very short, 20, 30 minutes, but she's such a delightful human. And she's got all these books on like how to get your produce and like actually get your money's worth. And she was talking about 60%. We're up to 60% waste, grocery waste. Oh, you guys, 60%. And she made this amazing point. She's like, I know all these moms, they want to stay at home with their kids and they're looking for a side hustle. And she's like, well, first of all, don't throw away 60% of your groceries and you'll save some money, which I thought was like a really good point. It's a real thing. We don't want to waste food. We don't want to waste money. We don't want to waste food. The one thing with parsley and cilantro is when you cut it, it gets little bits all over you. Let's see this. Oh, you have faster carnitas in the crock pot. Smells SFG. Hey, kiddo. Hey, Kurt, what you doing? Let's just get a little. Here's the thing. I will buy some dried herbs. I have dried dill, obviously. I love my dill. I have dried oregano, dried basil. I love the fresh versions. I have dried thyme. I even have dried rosemary. But one thing I cannot stand, and I'll only do it if I absolutely have to, is dried parsley. I love fresh parsley so much. I cannot get into the dried part on its own. I don't mind dried parsley mixed in with stuff, but also notice that I plucked all this stuff off the stems, but we're just going to cut, we're going to mince up a couple tablespoons worth here. Come on. Come on. Come on, there's some that like, there we go. Ooh, yeah. And by the way, you can also eyeball this. I just don't like giant pieces of, although you won't see it with this one. Okay, let's get these guys in here. That's more than a couple teaspoons, but that's all right. We love it. We love to see it. While I'm here, before I mix that up, let's just cut these provolone slices. I stacked them all up. We're going to just quarter them. It's hard to make them even. You can also get the deli to cut you fresh provolone, but they didn't have any in my deli. So okay, that's prepped for afterwards. Let's put our hands in the meats. Again, I'm doing a triple check. Yeah. We got it all. We got the pork, the beef, the mustard, the almond flour, the egg, the fresh parsley. I put everyday dust in there, but you could put garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper. I did put salt and pepper and everyday dust. And then I put oregano and basil. And let's do this. Hold on. I just want to wash and then wash. Oh, I'm reading a book about dopamine resets, and I think I need one. Ooh, bachelor chili. Oh, you better get them legs worked out, Kurt. We don't want your chicken legs. We need your beefy legs. Okay. Now, pro tip, make sure you take the ground meats out of the fridge early enough so that stuff, not that it has to be room temperature. You don't want it to like sit around, but you don't want it ice cold because this process is very difficult. Now, this doesn't seem like it's yielding that much, but it will. You can also double this very easily. It's just so flavorful and so delicious. But what we're doing is we're going to mix this nice and soft. Uh-oh, I just dropped some on the floor. I don't want to step on that. Hold on. I got zealous. We want to mix this nice and evenly. Make it soft. We want softness. We want smoothness. You could, if you wanted to, dice up some salami and put it in there. If you wanted to, I just thawed an entire bag of guanciale, which is cured pork jowl. I just thawed a whole bag, and I had an idea that maybe I should fry it up and put it in here, but then I got lazy and didn't do that. But we want this nice and even and gorgeous. I don't have my overhead cam because I don't have Megan. See how that's pretty well mixed in there? And then we're going to turn this into 1-inch meatballs. Cook those meatballs. Let them drain for a sec. Do the cheese thing. And turn them into little ravioli. Okay. I have a parchment paper lined baking sheet. Let me just wash this excess off, even though I'm still going to use my hands to really form these meatballs. What's going on over there in the chat? Oh, Joanne, you're going to love them. Okay, bye, Kurt. Thank you for joining us. 1-inch cookie scooper. You can also use a teaspoon. So when you do the cookie scooper, it makes it for you, but I still like to do a little, boom, a little extra. Here, let me move this out of the way so we can see in the frame. And some can be a little bigger than others, but you do want them to be small because you need to melt that provolone cheese around these guys. This yields about 22 to 25. And if you do like me and you start you can really get them close to the edge as well. And if you want to, if you feel like this gives off too much grease, just have a second piece of the parchment paper ready. Oh, they're already so cute. We're going to eat these for dinner. And I think I'm going to dip in hold on, let me use the back of my hand and roll this over here. We're dipping in arrabbiata. That's what we're going to dip in. Ooh, the oven just went. I still have to record an MP3. Did you listen to the MP3 of my last recording, how I'm fighting the insurance companies about not covering the hysterectomy? The surgeon, they're not covering the surgeon. I have an update. I'm going to be recording that MP3. I am going to be, for you premium Substack members, I'm going to be posting a creamed spinach and mushroom smothered pork chop recipe this week. That's real good. That's a real good one. Trying to think of what other updates are going on. Vinny's in Louisiana, I think, or he's headed there, or he's just got back. Maybe he just got back. We recorded 2 episodes last week to make up for it. And I miss talking to Vinny. I miss him. I'm going to have to call him and bother him. He loves it when I do that. Let's see. Oops. There we go. How would you have removed it without a surgeon? I know, you do need a surgeon. Teresa, yes, please order sauces. And don't forget, if you guys pre-ordered Eat Happy Italian, you have that pre-order discount code. So feel free to use it. And I extended the deadline for it, so it would go past April, just in case people forgot to use it, to get the 10% off. And we just got back the finalized, what's it called? I can't remember anything today. Bonus recipe PDF. They took my uterus and my brain function. We just got back the bonus recipe PDF. It's finalized. So I'm just coming up with a nice email and creating a download page so that all you guys, I'll send you the download link so you can get that bonus recipe PDF. And I feel so much better being able to give it out. The publisher says, thank you for pre-ordering the books, y'all. It really does. It means the world. Because they saw that you guys support it and that you're behind it, even though it was a really early ask. And, you know, you guys do a lot to help support this brand. So, yes, Teresa, get you some sauces, girl. Kelly, you would have gotten an email from me about 3 weeks ago. It was everybody who pre-ordered through March 25th got an early discount code. So look for that. And if you didn't get it, write to me. How many are we up to? 3, 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, we're up to about 21. Oh, maybe this yields more, you guys. Maybe this is going to yield more like 28 meatballs. Meatballs. Although maybe I'm making them too small. I just like them this size. Because then it gives you the look of the ravioli, that's the whole flipping point. I can already tell this one's too big that I just made. I'll put it on the end so it cooks more. Boom, boom, boom. I will be sending another confirmation email with that bonus PDF. So I'll resend that download code if you didn't get it. Look at me, just barely fitting all this in. Again, if you want to double this, you totally can. And it would be, oh, look, this is going to make like 2 extras here. Oh. Okay, well. Dunsky. Let's see, put that there, this here. Okay, we got meatballs ready to go. Let me get these in the oven and then we'll chat. Okay. that out the way. I miss having Megan here. She reminds me of what I'm supposed to say. Okay, that's going to go in the oven for about 10. Oh, it says 15. Let's put them in for 15. But I might take them out a little early. Do you guys do that? Do you open the alarm or the timer and you open your calculator instead? I just posted a meme about doing that, and then I just did it. I swear to God. Clock. Timer. Okay, great. Can never have, yes. Yeah, it's super easy, Joanne. It's super easy. And then we're going to take them out. We're going to put them on a paper towel to drain just while I lay out these pieces of provolone, which now that it's made more meatballs, I definitely don't have enough pieces of provolone, but that's okay. We'll make what we can and then just eat regular meatballs. Let's see. I know what I was going to tell you guys. Hold on. So, we've been having this conversation with the Kroger people, which is really nice. And I talked about it briefly on the podcast, but we're not ready yet. They're not ready. They just finished their category review before the food show, before they met us at the food show. By the way, I chopped my hair off. I chopped about 3 inches off my hair yesterday. Right before we met them at the food show, they already completed their pasta sauce category reset. So what that means is we basically have to wait till next year. But what you do is you write them and you just remind them of your existence so that they write you and they say, hey, we want to be included. And they say, great, yeah, we remember you. And it's a whole long conversation. And it takes years. And it also takes years off my life as I'm trying to do this. But so somebody wrote, I can't wait. They wrote I can't wait till you're in Kroger and Rayo's can suck it. And I took a screenshot of it and I was going to send it to the Kroger buyer. And my business partner was like, please don't send that to the Kroger buyer. And I was like, why not? It's funny. You don't think they'll like it? And he was right. It's good that I didn't send it because, to be honest with you, I'm sure Rayo's makes them a lot of money, and we're not looking to replace Rayo's on their shelf. We're just looking to give an alternative to Rayo's, and that would come off as stupid. But oh, Wendy, that is so sweet. Anna, always love to support you and your work. Your recipes keep my teenager eating happy. That's great. Listen, if you can get picky kids and teenagers to eat some of this food and not just always be on junk food, then we've done our jobs. Yes, calculator, calendar, so stupid. Anyway, I thought that Kroger thing was funny. That I was like, yeah, I'm going to send it to her. That's a great idea. My business partner was like, you don't have to share everything with everyone all the time. And he's not wrong. Hold on a second here. I had a question that you guys brought up. Oh, Kroger loves Simple Truth Organic. And for a brief 2-year stint, I was the radio voice for Simple Truth and Simple Truth Organics. Available at Kroger, available at Ralph's, available at Smith's, available at Fred Meyer, available at Clark's. They own 1 million stores. And if the Albertsons Kroger merger goes through, they're about to own 2 million stores. It's crazy. Yeah, Kroger loves, everybody's doing private label. That's part of the hold up with Wegmans, you guys. Wegmans loves private label. And the buyer is only just now, even though we've been talking to them for 1.5 years, he's only just now starting to consider bringing in some outside brands. Sur La Table, wonderful conversation with Sur La Table, and they love us, but they want to do private label. And I'm trying to get them to at least try the pumpkin marinara because that's not something that anybody really does on private label. But again, it's a long conversation. Yeah, get out of the office, Wendy. Ooh, Nancy asks, what recipe are you most excited about sharing in the new cookbook? Oh, God. Ossobuco is so good. The stuffed manicotti, the low carb, everything's low carb, obviously. The manicotti is so good because we figured out how to make a wrap, you know? You know what I'm going to do? Oh, in the dessert chapter, there's a no-bake tiramisu that I'm so excited about. I made an olive oil cake with a limoncello glaze. I'm very excited about that. Why am I more excited about the desserts? No, I'm so excited because what I was able to do was to write the and I have to stand so close. I know, Joanne, I'm hungry too. I was able to write this cookbook and take all of my Italian favorites, Italian American, and my favorites from Italy as well, and turn them into low carb versions. And sometimes, like for example, let's take cacio e pepe. Everyone's obsessed with cacio e pepe. It's having quite a moment. I was in Trader Joe's and everything was cacio e pepes, cacio e pepe cheese crisps, cacio e pepe tater tots. They had everything turned into cacio e pepe. However, yes, limoncello glaze. It's more like a lemon glaze. It doesn't have alcohol in it. It can have alcohol in it if you want to. You can put some vodka in there. But limoncello rolls off the tongue better. Yes, olive oil cake with a limoncello glaze. It's quite good. What was I saying? I get so distracted so easily. Cacio e pepe. So what I found is that cacio e pepe is a particular dish. You know, not all dishes are going to be adapted into being low carb. We have to make peace with that, and that's okay. We have enough. And I'm not stopping writing recipes anytime soon. I feel like I have a hair on my face. I'm not stopping writing recipes anytime soon. Like, it's going to keep going. But cacio e pepe is cheese and pepper and a little bit of olive oil. So if you're going to do that, for me, the best thing that works with is coating a vegetable, like asparagus. I did it with asparagus. You can do that, but your pasta is the best thing. We're not going to do pasta. You could do spaghetti squash for sure. No problem. The local olive mill has olive oil cupcakes. That's a great idea. I wonder if I should have turned those into cupcakes, that olive oil cake. I use Villa Capelli olive oil, obviously, and you can taste it in the cake. It's so good. It's really good. No, I'm so excited to share like my versions of the pasta dishes and how, you know, some things go better with zucchini noodles. Some things go better with spaghetti squash. Some things go better with the hearts of palm. Actually, just a few things go with the hearts of palm because I think it has a more vinegar flavor profile. But like a scampi goes really well with the hearts of palm. I'm really excited about the fish dishes that are in there. Other classics. Chicken saltimbocca is one of my favorites. It's so good, and it's just buttery, and it's sage, and it's prosciutto, and it's chicken, and it's just, mwah, it's so good. But osso buco with the cauliflower polenta, you guys, it's ridiculous. Oh, is Villa Capelli back in? Is Villa Capelli back for sale? This is the new decanter that Stephen gave me when I got to see him for 10 minutes when they were driving up the 101. They stopped, and I met him over in Buellton. So Lisa, this is it. This is the new decanter, and he said he's going to sell it on the site. My only complaint is that it doesn't hold as much as my other decanter, but that's okay because I just keep refilling it. But I really love what it has is this like cork top that opens, you know, like a little, like the bar when they pour stuff out of the bar. I really like that. And then you could just take the whole thing out when you're, oh God. 2-second rule. But see, it's got like the little thing in there so that you pour out the right amount when you're putting it in your pan. It doesn't glug into the pan. We don't need glugging. Little hands up. Oh, I've been obsessed with castor oil. I'm going to talk about that on my MP3 that I'm recording. Has anybody else gone down the castor oil rabbit hole? Yes, this is very pretty. Very pretty. Castor oil, obsessed. No, not for detox. I know that people talk about it for detox. I've been putting it I'll talk about it in the MP3, but I've been putting it on my scar and I don't notice a thing. I've noticed it in other places, but I'll be honest with you guys, like what's worked great and what hasn't worked. I'm going to give that, I'm only on day 16 or day 17 because I think I started the day before the beginning of the month. I was going to give it a full 30 days. I did not get some sun. I think that this lighting makes it look, I always have too much sun on my chest though. But I did start Retin-A on my face and I realized I've got to get a better SPF. So I'm not good at wearing the SPF. One day I'm going to lay out the whole skincare routine because now it has changed. It has changed now that my hormones have changed. It has changed. It has to change. Change or die. My husband just turned on David Muir in the middle of this live stream. You muted it because I gave him a look. Could you guys hear that when he just turns on the evening news right in the middle of my live stream? Like he doesn't have a care in the world. Yes, skincare routine. Is that what the yes please is for? Because I will definitely give the skincare routine. By the way, for those of you who just joined, we're waiting on these meatballs to cook that we're going to turn into low carb ravioli. It's a recipe that's at my Substack. Please subscribe there. I said it on the podcast. I'll say it again. The Substack is 95% free. There is a premium level of subscription, but you don't have to pay to subscribe. You can subscribe for free. But those of you who are premium subscribers, I thank you. And I thank you with very special recipes. But let me check this meatball. But you guys, this is very important that you guys subscribe over there. That's where I'm posting all of my new recipes that are not in a book. So there's no other place where I'm going to post those. There's no other. It's basically what blogging used to be. It's a very simple interface. It's a beautiful kind of magazine layout. I really love it. And also I can post my interviews there. I can embed my YouTube cooking videos there. I can put up audio. I've been recording. I've done one. I'm going to do the second audio MP3 about basically what's going on, what I'm obsessed with, so I can share my good finds with you guys. Some are affiliate links, most are not. I just like to talk about what I like because maybe that's how I learn. If somebody talks about a book, I love to hear about it because then I get the book and I read it. So, ooh. Joanne ate the white bean chicken chili 3 days last week. That one's so, I forgot about that one. That one's so good. I should have made it when it rained this weekend. Okay. This smells amazing, by the way. So what we did was we made these little mini meatballs. Actually, let me just let it cook one more minute while I get a plate lined with some paper towels. You know, I always use my little cheapy plates when doing stuff like this. But we never serve on the cheapy plate. We would never serve a meal on the cheapy plates. What is she doing? Izzy's going nuts. We're going to dip in arrabbiata sauce today because I'm in the mood for spicy, but also that's the only flavor I could get my hands on because we sold out at Gelson's this weekend. The leftovers are great. Ooh. Okay. So we baked these at 350 for about 13 minutes. They don't have a lot of color on them, but that's okay. They do give off a lot of like little schmutzy bits. So I'm just going to kind of wipe them. Okay. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a fresh piece. I'm going to do a fresh piece of parchment paper. What is she doing? You're making her sneeze. You're getting her overexcited. She's 14 and a half. I don't know how much excitement she can take. Izzy is still with us. Every time we do a live stream, I'm like, is Izzy going to make it to the next live stream? I sure hope so, because I love that dog more than anything. And I'm going to be absolutely devastated when she feels like it's time for her to cross that rainbow bridge. But I'm also like, that dog has survived a lot longer than I thought she would. And here she comes. You always know when I have lights going and you're not going to like it because you're going to trip over them. She's blind, for those of you who don't know. About two and a half years ago, would you say, Lauren, she went blind? And her sniffing, her smelling has gotten out of control. I know she smells these meatballs, and that's why she's over here. Okay, great. Ooh, those are good. I think we did these about 13 minutes. You can do 50. I think I wrote 15 minutes, but my oven's very strong, so I try to take it out when I think it's done. Let's do a nouveau piece of parchment paper, and I'll show you how we do these wonderful ravioli. That's warm. Don't burn yourself. I want to miss. Your basset hound is 14 and blind and deaf. Okay, we have that in common. To have a blinded, well, Izzy's almost deaf. I'm putting these far enough apart. Oh gosh, we're not going to have enough room to do all these. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to alternate them. I bet I can fit more in the little spaces. There we go. Again, I don't think I have enough provolone, so we're just going to do what we can. Save one for Izzy. Yes. Oh, I broke one too. Okay, great. What's wrong with me? There we go. Almost done. She is right at my feet, just waiting patiently for delicious meat products to fall into her mouth. It's got to be a curse too for dogs to have that great a sense of smell. And then just, I'm going to take these guys. So we're going to set these in the middle. I just cut those provolone pieces in quarters. We wiped off most of the excess grease. And by the way, we're wiping off the excess grease just because it makes life easier. It's not like we're trying to not have fat. We love fat. So if the grease doesn't bother you, then don't worry about wiping it off. This is just more about trying to get the cheese to stick to these guys. And it just is not, also too, this does not have to be pretty, because this cheese is just going to melt over these meatballs and then wind up looking like little ravioli. And then you take them out and let them stand for a sec. And what happens is they kind of harden up a bit, not in a bad way, in a good way. They solidify enough for you to be able to pick them up, or you can use toothpicks, and you have a cute little starter. There's a little one. One of these pieces is much smaller than the other. There we go. Can you guys kind of see? I'm going to try to bring this up to camera. I don't have my overhead shot today because I don't have my Megan today to do the switching. Okay. There's a few left over. That's not hot. Let me show you this. Do you guys see that? We just quartered those provolone pieces, put the beef on. I don't want to tilt it too much more. There we go. Tilt it a little more. There we go. And then we're going to lay the rest of the provolone quarters on top. Oh, hey, Karen. Hey, Bob and Karen. Thanks for joining us. Yes. Okay. So the cheese crisps, I'm actually talking to the CEO of the manufacturing company tomorrow morning. And so watch this. I'm just literally laying these on like little hats. Just little hats. We're talking to the CEO in the morning, and I believe that we have our flavors dialed in for, we're going to do the barbecue dust with yellow cheddar, and we're going to do the dill ranch seasoning with either Gouda or white cheddar. So we're going to be talking about that tomorrow morning, and I'm so excited. They taste amazing. And as soon as we have everything designed, we have to have approval on the flavor already. If I tried to move one of these, by the way, and the provolone was already kind of melting into the tray. So these might run together a little bit, but that's okay. I think with provolone, they put schmutz in there to that's probably not the best. Let's be honest, they probably put some cellulose or something. How do I have one extra piece? Oh, because I forgot one. I was like, that doesn't make sense. I'm better at math than that. Okay, I'm going to show you guys this. See that? Now these are going to melt down. You just got to carefully put them in. 3 to 5 minutes. Easy peasy. So Karen, when we have the flavors dialed in, we're working on the packaging designs. They'll come in pouches, like, with the Ziploc top in 2-ounce bags. And the intention is they're supposed to be snacks, low carb, no sugar added snacks made of just cheese and spice. And that's it. So we're very excited about that. And I hope that you guys, we'll have to do the thing where we pre-sell them. And then we'll basically pre-sell them, make them, and then fulfill the orders. And so we're just trying to figure out how to do it in a way that makes sense, like, because they're going to come 12 to a case. And so obviously I don't believe that people are going to buy. I know that y'all love me and support me, but I don't believe that you're going to buy 12 at a time without tasting them first. So we're going to come up with some sort of variety pack first, but that means that we have to unpack. We've got to unpack the 12 case, pack them into smaller variety packs, and then, get the labels on those. So we're trying to just figure out the logistics of all of that. It is everything is about logistics, let's be honest, especially when you're in a product business. So I'm excited for you guys to try those. And hopefully we pre-sell a lot, because we have to make a giant quantity. That's part of the agreement with this manufacturer. But I was like, well, my people like my sauces and my spices. I'm sure they'll like the cheese crisps. That's what I told them. We'll find out. Hold on. This one down. Yes, Deanne, they do look good already. I'm kind of playing this by ear. I printed out the recipe from Substack, and I found there's an extra comma and an extra space. Oh, somebody told me you forgot to put almond flour in the thing, and I fixed that. So it's now fixed. So if you printed this right when it first came out 2 Saturday or a week and a half ago, you might have missed the almond flour, but it's now in there. But so is an extra comma between onion and powder. It should be onion powder. But I don't want to go changing it a bunch of times, because I just want to, don't worry. If it makes it into a recipe book, it will be proofread. Yes, a menopause party pack. Because let me tell you what, nothing helps menopause more than having something crunchy and deliciously to taste and chew on. If I need an editor. Oh, Joanne, are you an editor by trade? Is that your work? And yes, you will be able to buy them online. We launch everything direct to consumer first. We'll never go straight into grocery, because until we have proof of concept, it's too expensive. They make you pay thousands of dollars in slotting fees, which means you're basically buying the shelf space in grocery. And plus you have to send free fills, which is a case of each. Sometimes you have to send 2 cases of each flavor per store. And let's say if they take in 4 flavors and you have to send 2 cases per store per flavor, and they have 350 stores, that's like $100,000 worth of free merchandise that you're giving away. So that's actually a good example for like something that's like the size of like a Sprouts or a Myers or something like that, where you have to pay the slotting fees and or do the free fills. And some places you have to do both. So that's why we always will launch direct to consumer, to make sure that it's what we think it is. Like, as I could think something's delicious, but if y'all don't buy it, then I'm not going to spend that money to just immediately launch in a grocery. Now, okay, now we're just going to use the regular old-fashioned computer mic. I'm glad you guys said something. Ran out of a charge. What good are you? What good are you? Hey, let's check our raviolis. You guys like my burned mitt? Hey, we got burned. Okay, these are perfect. Okay, one of them didn't quite work. See, we've got them melted on there, except for this one guy. The top must have fallen off when I shut. Oh, hold on. Here's what needs to happen. What am I doing here? Let's put a little surface down. Okay. Can you guys see that okay? I like to let it sit for about 5 minutes. Turn this oven off. And then what I'm going to do, right now they look like almost like little wontons. We could call them low carb wontons. You could actually, hold on, idea. You could mix up just like ground pork with vegetables and like mince it with an Asian flavor profile with like scallion, gluten-free soy sauce, maybe some coconut aminos, some lemongrass. That would be so good. And make little low carb wontons. That's what we have to make next. I need that. Right now we're doing raviolis. So you can see the shape. I basically like to tuck those things over and they kind of turn more into like a little ravioli shape. Whoops. This is why I need to let it sit for a second. So we're gonna let that sit for a second. I'm gonna heat up some arrabbiata sauce in the pan. I could have done that while we were talking, but I didn't. Oh, sorry, dog. I didn't mean to scare you. It's not in my way. Right? Pork wontons. Are we doing this? We have to do this. It sounds so good. This smells so good. I don't care what anybody says. This is the best sauce. It's the best. You know that we don't use any paste? We just use the tomatoes, but they're cooked down. Oh my God. It's so good, you guys. I'm just going to do about half the jar. Just a little bit, just warm enough while these kind of set up. And then we're going to have a little dipping sauce. Let's see how spicy this is. Let's see how spicy this is. I love it. I love it. I mean, I guess I could dip that spoon back in here because, you know, I live here. I love it so much. This is a cheapy pot, but it's nonstick. You know what, Lisa? I'm going to be honest with you. I know it doesn't go well with cheese, but provolone to me is such a like benign, non-existent flavor cheese. Like I don't use it in hardly anything. Let me just be sure about that. Yeah, that would still go well with the pork. We have to at least try. Oh my God, it's so good. We got a little thing. Delicious. Okay, I got a fresh spoon. I have to do this. I have to do this. It's right out of the jar, kids. Right out of the jar. Right? We're going to do this. I'm going to eat this so badly, but I'm not going to because I'm putting it back in the jar. Make this stuff. Yeah, it's very neutral. It kind of brings out the flavor of whatever's in the meat. So I'm very curious. I'll try it. I'll try it with like a pork wonton situation and see if it works. Maybe it'll be too overpowering. We'll have to figure out There's no like classic Asian cheese other than paneer, the Indian cheese that I also love, but it wouldn't work for this application. Thanks you guys for being here. We went almost an hour today. Yeah, make these next week. Tag me. Let me know how you like them. Super easy to make. Obviously, I talk and take my time when I make them. You could make them much faster than I just did. But thanks for joining me. And let's hang out for the next one. And sorry about the sound snafu, but we got through it. You know, we worked through it together. I love you guys. Subscribe to Substack. I'll record an MP3 and post that. Pork chops smothered. No, wait, how did I word it? Oh, my uncle's calling. I got to talk to him. Okay, bye, guys. Pork chops smothered in cream spinach and mushrooms. Phil Cater, have you been here this whole time? Phil, you're a helper and I love you. Bye, guys.